you can come into a reality where safety isn't even an issue. You move from feeling unsafe through this practice, then feeling safe, and then you realize there's no need to feel safe because there's nothing there that can threaten your existence because you're an eternal being. Welcome to Worthiness Wednesday. I'm Perry Gruber, the Enlightenment Guy. For over 10 years, I've helped people master their mindsets so they can create lives they love and get results without the burnout or the hustle. And I just want to make a shout out right now to all of my clients who are reflecting back to me the vibrational accuracy of the positively focused practice. The collection of practices I've packaged into a practice that allows people to essentially attain enlightenment. Enlightenment is nothing other than living the charmed life where everything you're wanting is unfolding perfectly without you having to do anything to have that happen. And I really appreciate my clients and their movement through this practice as a reflection of my own movement through the practice, and because they offer such wonderful opportunities for me to amplify how well this practice works. And today's Worthiness Wednesday episode is no different. Today I want to talk about feeling unsafe, which is the flip side of feeling safe. It's so interesting. There are so many circumstances in which people feel unsafe, while not realizing that feeling of lack of safety is being created by the person who feels that way. That is true with all physical conditions. All of physical reality is an emanation of what's going on inside of us. And therefore, nothing that we're experiencing that we don't want needs to be experienced. But we're experiencing it because of what I just said, because we don't have to experience it. We're experiencing it because the universe is lovingly reflecting back to us what's inside of us, the negative experience, in pre-manifestational form, in order for us to align with what we want instead of receiving what we don't want. And when we do that, when we align with what we want becomes the external reality, the projection. That seems so logical to me, but so many people don't understand the accuracy of what I just said. And I don't blame those people, especially the people who feel unsafe, because reality is such a mirror. It's such an accurate mirror, and it's reflecting exactly what we have going on inside of us. So if a person is feeling unsafe, for sure, they're going to meet circumstances that have them feeling that way, that represent or manifest or reflect back to them that feeling of lack of safety. But it's a reflection, which means it's there for us to do something about this lack of safety. And over time, when one aligns themselves with what they're wanting instead of what they're not wanting, which is feeling unsafe, then the whole concept of safety goes out the window. Because here's the thing. Physical reality is the microcosm of all that is. And there's nothing unsafe in all that is, especially combined with your free will. And so, both feeling unsafe and feeling safe is a distortion, because there's no need to feel safe where there is nothing to be safe from. And that's the state of being in all that is. Think about it. You're eternal. You're pure positive energy. You are literally the creator of your reality. And nothing can come into your reality, your experience, other than that which you invite. So if that's true, there's no need for safety or feeling unsafe when you embrace what you are, and therefore, or thereby, invite only that which you're wanting. Now, This may sound crazy when you're hyper focused on physical reality, because physical reality, especially the news and podcasts and people who use fear to get your money out of your pockets, when there's so much evidence that the universe, that the physical reality is random and composed with a bunch of people who are out to get you, when you believe that, then you become a match to that. And when you become a match to that, of course, you're going to seek safety. But again, it is simply a matter of alignment that has you feeling that way, and thereby taking action based on those feelings. So recently, was it actually in December of last year, which is why in the snippet you're going to see Christmas lights in the video of the session, I was talking with an advanced client, April, who is recognizing what we're talking about here. She is recognizing that her comfort in feeling safe is a distortion. I'm not going to say anything more now. I want you to hear the snippet and then I'll come back to it. Take a listen. Eagerness from my perspective to have you do this, because your voice is so powerful when you write, and you're not, it's not the right way to say it because everything's unfolding perfectly. I'm going to say it this way anyway. You're not doing the people you're going to serve any favors by taking a long ass time to get your shit out the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I do believe that that encounter with that guy on the cruise ship that was so enthusiastic about
Yep.
being a coach was
Yep.
a potential client. And so it's like, I didn't have that experience just to show me that I wasn't ready for another year.
That's right.
I was ready, and it
That's
was
right.
me holding me back. I'm aware of that, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do with that awareness.
Mhm.
And I don't want to just be back where I was at. Well, I am in a way, and in a lot of ways, I'm not where I was at in that tough conversation with you and Kyne last
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I think about that conversation a lot. It
That's
informs a
good.
lot of like what I'm doing and how I'm
Yep.
processing things, because that comfort, I even talked about it in that blog post, that comfort, that wanting to feel safe is like I'm missing the mark so much with that. But it's really in there.
Yeah.
And I also know that the more I lean into my relationship with my broader perspective and believe in myself, the safer I actually feel. I mean, it's,
You said it better than I was just
yeah,
thinking it. That's exactly right. There's the feeling of unsafe. It's exactly the same as above eight, below eight. There's
yeah,
there's
yeah,
there's no such thing as unsafe. It's
right.
only when you're disconnected from your
Absolutely.
broader perspective that unsafe shows up.
Yeah.
That's right.
And unsafe is still serving me.
That's right.
It,
Because
it's
it's
it's helping me to recognize like where my focus gets distorted. Like if I were looking too much at Kyne or somebody else as my safety provider.
yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah,
Feeling unsafe is a below eight emotion, because and it's good because it's trying to get you to get back in connection with your broader perspective where all the safety is. It
yeah,
actually, more accurately, there's no need to even use that word because
yeah,
there's no such thing as unsafe.
First of all, could you perceive the clarity that April has about her experience? You can hear how she realizes the paradox she finds herself in. the feeling of needing to feel safe, while at the same time recognizing that need is stemming from a distortion, a belief she has that is not aligned with her broader perspective's awareness of how the universe actually works. And she's also aware that when she lines up with her broader perspective and its perception of how the universe works, its knowing of how the universe works, then she no longer needs to feel safe because there's nothing to feel unsafe about. Such a good realization she's having. And she's moving through this process very well. In fact, this is February. I think this video is going to come out in February or might come out in March. This session video was recorded in December, and she's on to other more important subjects. She has totally soothed, or significantly soothed, I should say, her feelings, her need to feel safe. This, again, is another demonstration of how effective this practice is. I was going to say powerful, but power is a distortion. It perceives, it assumes the ability to control physical matter. And from this practice's perspective, we're not about controlling physical matter because all physical matter is manifested. What we do in this practice is we settle into the moment of becoming, and there we become eminently capable of allowing only those manifestations of physical matter that align with what we want. What I just said is so juicy. There is no need to feel unsafe about physical reality because physical reality is a projection of what's going on inside of you. But the paradox of physical reality is if you feel unsafe, then for sure you have to contend with unsafe situations because reality is going to reflect back to you that which is going on inside of you as a dominant vibration. The way out of it, it's so easy, but it's difficult. It's a paradox. The way out of it is to begin perceiving reality in such a way that you only see the good. Tell yourself better feeling stories about what you're experiencing. If you're experiencing lack of safety, then you have to take your attention and put it somewhere else until that momentum soothes. If you're in a situation that's unsafe, it's best to move forward with safety in mind because you've created that reality and you have to contend with it. But once that experience is over, then it's time to begin perceiving in a different way. And you perceive initially by thinking better feelings thoughts. Eventually, if you're a client of my practice, you get to the advanced level where you're able to perceive vibration directly and then do something at the vibrational level. But even if you're struggling, you're not a client, and you're struggling with the feeling of being unsafe, notice something. You're watching this video, which means you've moved through some life experiences, probably some unsafe ones that you thought were unsafe, ones that you believed were unsafe and therefore were, and yet you're here watching this video. So the situation you thought was unsafe actually did not harm you significantly enough that you could not watch this video. So that must tell you something that I assert with all of my clients, and that my clients are proving to themselves, that everything always works out. And so even these seemingly unsafe conditions always work out. That's something to sink your teeth into, because there's no need to experience unsafe conditions unless you believe that unsafe conditions exist. But even when you experience those unsafe conditions you believe exist as a projection of your beliefs, you'll notice that on the other side of the unsafe condition, you're still here. That's something to ponder. And on your way through that pondering, you can come into a reality where safety isn't even an issue. You move from feeling unsafe through this practice, then feeling safe, and then you realize there's no need to feel safe because there's nothing there that can threaten your existence. because you're an eternal being. That's so good. April's learning this. You can learn this too. Find time on my calendar if this resonates with you. I'm smiling because that rhymed. Or seek out someone else that resonates with you better. There are lots of people out here talking about what I'm talking about. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.